3 a.m. again, another sprint to the bathroom. It might be harmless, or it might be your body's quiet warning. Stay with me for a calm, natural roadmap to read the signs and start sleeping through the night. I want to start with a confession. For a long time, I treated my own nighttime bathroom trips like a quirky habit, nothing more than my body checking in at 3 a.m. If you've done the same, you're in good company. But here's what quietly changed my mind. The pattern itself was telling a story. Some nights I'd wake after a late slice of pepperoni pizza and 2 refills of iced tea, and the bathroom visit felt like a flood. Other nights, after a small dinner and no drinks, I'd still wake up. But the stream was brief, almost a false alarm. Those differences aren't random. They're clues. And learning to read them can spare you a lot of worry and help you sleep through the night more often. Let me set an expectation from the outset. I'll keep things clear, practical, and non-dramatic. We're talking about health, which means details matter, especially amounts and methods of preparation. If we tweak a recipe or push a routine at the wrong time of day, we can create the very problem we're trying to solve. So I'll be precise, and I'll ask you to be kind to yourself as you test what works for your body. Also, a quick promise to reward your focus. At the very end of this full series, I'll share a brief, 3-minute, equipment-free routine you can do at night to help your legs release retained fluid so your bladder doesn't do the job at 2 a.m. It only helps if you learn to do it the right way, and we'll get there together. Now, how do you know whether these nighttime trips are just the natural consequence of what you ate and drank, or whether they're a sign you should look a little deeper? I start with the context. North American evenings are usually built around salt and caffeine without us noticing, that bottomless coffee while answering emails, the sweet tea with dinner, the post-workout sports drink, the burger and fries with extra pickle, the cheesy mac and cheese that tastes like a hug. Salt pulls water into your bloodstream. Caffeine nudges your kidneys and can irritate the bladder lining. Alcohol, even a single beer, can do a bit of both while disrupting your sleep stages. When that fluid finally redistributes as you lie down, your body tries to clear it, often right when you're hitting your deepest sleep window. That is the simple side of the story. The more interesting side is how your bladder behaves when the usual suspects aren't so obvious. If you're waking multiple times with only small amounts, or you feel urgency with a burning sensation, that pattern deserves respect. It could be irritation from tomato-heavy sauces or citrus desserts, artificial sweeteners in diet soda, chocolate at night, or, less commonly, an infection. If you're getting up once, producing a large volume, and you drank most of your fluids late in the evening, that's far more likely to be timing than trouble. I know this seems obvious, but many of us miss it because our evenings are busy and the last 2 hours blur together. Here's my first practical step. Keep a calm, judgment-free log for 3 nights. Nothing fancy, notes on your phone are perfect. Record the time and type of your last drinks and snacks, coffee, iced tea, soda, beer, soup, takeout. Roughly how much you had when you went to bed, the number of times you woke up, and whether your urine seemed plentiful or just a few drops. Note the color in simple terms: pale straw, lemonade, apple juice, or darker. Pale and plentiful after a late beverage points toward timing. Repeated tiny trips with discomfort or unusual odor means it's wise to consider an evaluation. We're not diagnosing here. We're gathering context so you can have a smarter conversation with a clinician if you need one. A few red flag clues deserve mention, calmly and clearly. If you ever see blood in the urine, if you have fever, flank pain, or relentless burning, seek timely care. If you're noticing extreme thirst, unintended weight loss, or exhaustion, your blood sugar pattern might be participating, and it's worth checking. Loud snoring with daytime sleepiness can signal a sleep-breathing issue that increases nighttime urine production. Swelling around the ankles by evening can mean fluid is pooling in the legs and returning to circulation when you lie down. None of this is meant to scare you. It's meant to empower you to notice what matters. Now for the hopeful part, the part that often improves your nights within a week. Shift most of your hydration earlier in the day. Think of a front-loaded curve. Enjoy water steadily from breakfast through mid-afternoon, then taper. If you love coffee, have it in the morning or early lunch, not as a nightcap while you scroll. Trade the late evening salty takeout for a simpler plate. roasted vegetables, grilled chicken, brown rice, a drizzle of olive oil, and herbs instead of a heavy pour of sauce. If you want something warm at night, a caffeine-free herbal infusion can be soothing. But preparation matters. Oversteeping bitter herbs or adding large amounts of ginger or peppermint can backfire for sensitive bladders. You'll hear me emphasize the exact amounts and timing later, because the right cup at the wrong hour becomes a hidden diuretic. I also like a gentle pre-bed movement habit. About an hour and a half before you sleep, put your legs up on a pillow for 10 to 15 minutes, then take a short, easy walk around your home. That helps move daytime fluid from the lower legs back into circulation before you're horizontal. It's simple, it's safe for most people, and it's surprisingly effective. If you have heart, kidney, or vascular conditions, clear any new changes with your healthcare professional before you start. None of these steps require perfection. They ask for attention and a willingness to notice your own data. Your nighttime bathroom trips aren't a verdict on your health, they're feedback. When you read that feedback with patience, you'll sleep better, feel steadier, and spend less energy worrying. Stay with me, because what comes next is where we transform those 3 nights of notes into a clear, personal signal about whether your pattern is ordinary or asking for help. The next tip is one of the most important, and ignoring it won't just limit your results. It can also lead to potentially serious side effects if you misapply the timing or quantities of fluids and herbs. I'll explain it with care so you can use it safely and effectively. Let's build on the groundwork you've just laid. You've started observing your nights with curiosity instead of frustration, and you've gathered a few days of real-life notes. What you drank, when you ate, how many times you got up, and what the volume looked like. Now I want to turn that into a simple, practical experiment that helps you tell just timing from look deeper without panic. I call it the 2-hour window test, and it's designed to be friendly to a typical North American evening. Busy schedules, takeout temptations, and the never-ending offer of a refill. Here is how it works. For 3 nights, set a decisive boundary around liquids and bladder irritants in the final 2 hours before bed. Not a desert, but a pause. Water sips are fine for comfort, big glasses are not. No coffee, no caffeinated tea, and skip the sweet tea and soda, regular or diet, during that window. If you like a warm drink, use a caffeine-free bladder calm herbal infusion and prepare it gently so it soothes rather than stimulates. Keep dinner salt smart. Avoid the saltiest takeout options like pizza, buffalo wings, or soy-heavy stir-fry. If you cook at home, season with herbs and citrus zest instead of multiple shakes of the salt shaker. Finish dinner at least 2 hours before lights out. During this test, pay attention to 4 signals. First, volume. When you do wake, is it a lot or a little? A single wake-up with a full bladder suggests you still had more fluid on board than you thought. Try nudging your main hydration earlier in the day. Multiple wake-ups with tiny amounts point toward irritation, either from food triggers, stress, or the bladder itself asking for a check-in. Second, urgency. Does the feeling come on like a wave that can't be delayed, or can you breathe, turn over, and fall back asleep? Third, comfort. Burning, pelvic pressure, or new odor deserves timely medical attention. Fourth, daytime clues. Are your ankles puffy by evening? Do you fall asleep on the couch after dinner and then toss and turn at night? These observations tell a fuller story than the number of trips alone. To make your results more reliable, front-load hydration. Aim for most of your water by mid-afternoon, about 70 to 80% of your daily total, then taper. This one change often reduces nighttime trips, even before you adjust anything else. If you exercise in the evening, hydrate earlier in the day, and focus on a balanced post-workout meal rather than a giant bottle of sports drink before bed. Those drinks are designed to replace electrolytes after long, sweaty sessions, not to be a bedtime beverage. And if you enjoy a beer or a glass of wine, keep it with dinner and leave a buffer before you sleep. Alcohol can make you feel drowsy at first, and then fragment your night while nudging your bladder to wake you. Let's talk about food triggers in a way that respects your preferences. You don't have to abandon tomato sauce, chocolate, or citrus forever. Many people do well by shifting them earlier in the day and moderating the portion. Tomato-rich pasta at noon may be a delight, The same plate at 9 p.m. might be an invitation to a restless night. If you love spicy buffalo sauce or barbecue, consider dialing back the heat at dinner and using a yogurt-based dip to cool it down. If you're team dessert, a small bowl of berries beats a giant slab of chocolate cake when you care about sleep. As you run the 2-hour window test, keep your notes calm and factual. On nights when you follow the window and still wake more than once, and especially if the volume is low and the urge is strong, that's your nudge to seek personalized advice. You're not overreacting, you're being reasonable. Share your 3-night log with your clinician. It shortens the path to helpful tests and tailored guidance. If, on the other hand, the window cuts your wake-ups from 3 to 1 or 0, you've likely identified timing as the main driver. In that case, keep the habit most nights and save late soda, sweet tea, or hot cocoa for earlier in the evening. There's a subtle trick that makes this test more accurate. What you do with your legs. About 90 minutes before bed, elevate them for 10 to 15 minutes. Couch, ottoman, or a couple of pillows work fine, and then take a short walk. That lets your body redistribute any fluid that pooled in your lower legs during the day, so your kidneys can deal with it before you sleep. Many people notice fewer wake-ups after adding this step. If you have heart, kidney, or circulation conditions, clear this with your healthcare professional. And remember, more isn't better here. Keep it gentle and consistent rather than intense. If you want a simple way to interpret your results, try this lens. One wake-up with plentiful urine on nights you drink late is a timing story. Solve it with earlier hydration and a calmer dinner. Repeated wake-ups with small amounts, burning, or new odor is an irritation or infection story. Solve it with professional evaluation and thoughtful food and drink choices. Waking up after evenings with ankle swelling or after falling asleep in front of the TV suggests a circulation or sleep-breathing component. Solve it by moving fluid before bed and discussing sleep quality with your clinician. This isn't about fear. It's about using your own data to guide wise next steps. Most importantly, keep the tone gentle with yourself. Progress happens in ordinary kitchens and living rooms, not in perfect conditions. You can still enjoy the taste of your culture and your neighborhood. Barbecue Saturdays, game night snacks, iced tea on the porch, while being strategic about timing and portion. Your body loves rhythm. Give it a predictable pattern for a week, and it will often reward you with deeper sleep and quieter nights. The next tip is one of the most important, and ignoring it won't just limit your results. It can also lead to potentially serious side effects if you misjudge how to prepare and time your nighttime beverages. I'll guide you clearly so you can apply it safely and confidently. If you tried the 2-hour window test, you probably discovered something both obvious and surprising. The clock matters, but your plate and cup matter too. One evening with a lighter dinner and a calm, caffeine-free drink can buy you an uninterrupted night, while the same bedtime paired with a salty takeout bowl and a tall glass of sweet tea can turn sleep into a relay race. Tonight I want to decode the hidden triggers tucked into a typical North American dinner, those small choices that quietly nudge your bladder all the way to 3 a.m., and then give you simple swaps you can put to work right away. Let's start with salt, because sodium is the master of disguise. Restaurant and delivery meals love it. Pizza, buffalo wings, mac and cheese, soy-heavy stir-fry, even healthy soups. A single entree can carry 2,500 milligrams of sodium, often more than an entire day's gentle target for many adults. Salt pulls water into your bloodstream. Once you finally lie down and fluid shifts out of your legs, your body works to clear the excess. That's why a late, salty dinner often schedules your bathroom trip for the middle of the night. You don't have to become rigid, just move the needle. When you cook, trade 2 shakes of the salt shaker for flavor builders: garlic, onion powder, smoked paprika, black pepper, thyme, oregano, lemon zest, and a splash of olive oil. If you go for jarred sauces, choose lower sodium versions and stretch them with crushed tomatoes or unsalted broth. When ordering out, ask for sauces on the side and balance the plate with a side salad or roasted veggies instead of another salty side. Now caffeine, the subtle night shifter. Classic culprits are coffee and black tea, but iced tea refills at dinner. chocolate desserts, and even decaf can deliver enough to matter for sensitive sleepers. Caffeine gently pushes the kidneys and can irritate the bladder lining, priming an urgent, small-volume wake-up. A practical move. Set a personal caffeine cutoff 6 to 8 hours before bed. If you love the ritual of a warm cup at night, choose a caffeine-free, bladder calm infusion and prepare it gently. Measured amounts, not an aggressive handful of herbs that turns soothing into stimulating. We'll get precise about preparation later so you can keep the comfort without the 2 a.m. consequences. Alcohol and sweeteners deserve a fair-minded mention. One beer or a glass of wine with dinner may feel relaxing, but alcohol fragments sleep, increases urine production, and can irritate the bladder. Try keeping it with food and leaving a buffer before bedtime. As for sweeteners, some people find that diet sodas and sugar-free desserts, thanks to artificial sweeteners like aspartame or sucralose, provoke urgency or frequency at night. It's highly individual, which is why your 3-night log is so useful. If a diet cola with your burger correlates with restless nights, swap it for sparkling water with a squeeze of lemon at 6 p.m., not 9 p.m. Here's a counterintuitive one. Healthy choices can backfire if the timing is wrong. A giant post-gym sports drink before bed? Designed to replace electrolytes after long, sweaty workouts, not to serve as a nightcap. A kombucha at 10 p.m.? Many brands include tea, caffeine, and acidic content that can irritate the bladder lining. A steaming bowl of tomato soup on the couch after the late news? Comforting, yes, but typically salty and acidic. The smarter path is simple. Align good choices with good timing. Enjoy kombucha with lunch. Use sports drinks during daytime training. Save tomato-rich meals for earlier. And let evenings be about calm flavors and lighter seasoning. Let's make this concrete with a stoplight guide that respects real life. In the evening, put these in the red bucket. Avoid close to bedtime. Energy drinks, espresso, large sweet tea, diet cola, extra spicy buffalo sauce, soy-soaked noodles, heavily salted soups, and big bowls of chips and salsa late at night. In the yellow bucket, limit and move earlier. Chocolate desserts, tomato-heavy pasta, citrus-forward dishes, pickles and deli meats, and more than one alcoholic drink. In the green bucket, friendlier to a quiet night, roasted vegetables with herbs, grilled chicken or tofu with olive oil and lemon zest, baked sweet potato with a pinch, not a pour, of salt, a small handful of unsalted pumpkin seeds in the late afternoon rather than bedtime, and a gently brewed caffeine-free herbal cup an hour or more before lights out. Reading labels pays off more than people expect. Scan for sodium per serving and check how many servings are in the container. A canned soup might list 650 mg per serving with 2 servings per can. That's 300 ml if you don't share. Jarred sauces vary wildly. A few lower sodium brands are surprisingly flavorful when you add sautéed onions, garlic, and herbs. Deli meats and pickles are classic stealth sources, so consider oven-roasted turkey you slice at home and quick-pickled cucumbers with less salt. If you're cooking beans or grains, use low-sodium broth and finish with fresh herbs and a squeeze of lemon instead of a heavy salt hand. 2 practical routines can boost your results without feeling like a diet. First, front-load flavor earlier in the day. If you crave that punchy tomato pasta or a chocolate square, enjoy it at lunch or mid-afternoon. Your body has hours to metabolize, and your bladder won't be bossed around at midnight. Second, create a weeknight fallback dinner that is predictable and kind to your sleep. Think grilled salmon or chickpea patties, quinoa, and a tray of roasted carrots and zucchini with rosemary. Keep the seasoning bright, not salty. Batch cook on Sunday, so the easy choice on Wednesday is also the best choice for your night. A quick word about herbs and natural beverages. Caffeine-free options like chamomile or lemon balm can be soothing, but more is not better. Overstrong or long-steeped cups can irritate sensitive bladders, just as heavy ginger or peppermint can unsettle some people. Measure, time, and leave a comfortable window before bed. If you have allergies, especially to the daisy family, are pregnant, or take certain medications, double-check with your healthcare professional before adding new herbal routines. This isn't to create fear. It's to help you get the comfort you want, without unintended effects. Finally, notice how your body responds to evening movement and posture. A 10-minute leg-up rest followed by a short walk, about 90 minutes before bed, helps shift fluid out of the lower legs so your kidneys can process it before you sleep. Many people pair this with a gentle dinner and find their wake-ups drop within a week. If you live with heart, kidney, or circulation conditions, personalize these steps with your clinician's guidance. All of this adds up to a kinder night, fewer surprises, more steady rest, and a sense that you're steering the ship instead of reacting to waves. You're not avoiding joy. You're changing the timing and the seasoning so your nights work better for you. Remember, consistency beats perfection. Simple patterns, repeated calmly, change how your bladder behaves after dark. The next tip is one of the most important, and ignoring it won't just limit your results. It can also lead to potentially serious side effects if you overlook symptoms that require timely evaluation or if you misjudge how to apply natural strategies. I'll keep the guidance precise and respectful so you can act with confidence. Even with better timing and a calmer dinner routine, you might notice a stubborn pattern. You wake more than once, the trips are small, or something simply feels off. That's not a failure. It's useful information. Your body is tapping you on the shoulder to look a little closer. The goal here is not to alarm you, but to translate those nudges into clear next steps so you can protect your sleep and your health with the same calm attention you've used so far. Start with the texture of each wake-up. If you're getting out of bed multiple times for only a few drops, or you feel a sharp urgency that isn't matched by volume, irritation is more likely than simple timing. Common fixable irritants include tomato-rich sauces late at night, spicy wings, citrus-forward desserts, chocolate, artificial sweeteners in diet soda, and even heavily minty teas. Another possibility is a straightforward urinary tract infection, which often brings burning, a change in odor, or pelvic pressure. Sometimes there's low-grade fever or back discomfort. None of these observations replace care. Think of them as clues you can bring to a professional. Volume tells a different story. A single wake-up with a full bladder on a day when you drank late points to fluid timing. But repeated large volumes, especially if you also notice extreme thirst and daytime fatigue, deserve a check-in for blood sugar patterns. If you or your bed partner notice loud snoring or pauses in breathing during sleep, that matters too. Disturbed breathing at night can increase urine production and fragment sleep, independent of what you drank. And take a quick look at your ankles in the evening. If they're puffy and your socks leave dents, that pooled fluid can return to circulation when you lie down, sending you to the bathroom after midnight. Medications and routines can play a role. Diuretics, water pills, taken late in the day, decongestants, and some antihistamines, and evening alcohol can all shift your bladder's schedule. If you've recently started a new prescription or supplement, add that to your 3-night log. This isn't about stopping anything on your own. Rather, it's about having a specific conversation with your clinician about the best timing for what you need to take. Small adjustments, like moving a diuretic earlier, can make an outsized difference when appropriate. Use a simple, kind self-check to decide on next steps. 1. Discomfort or burning, new odor, or visible blood. Seek timely medical evaluation. 2. Multiple small volume trips without comfort issues. Audit irritants and keep them earlier in the day, and consider a professional check-in if the pattern persists. 3. Swelling in the ankles by evening or breath snoring concerns. Work on pre-bed leg elevation and a brief walk to move fluid, and discuss sleep quality with your clinician. 4. One large trip after late drinks. Front-load hydration. Keep alcohol with dinner rather than as a nightcap, and see how your week changes. While you're exploring causes, anchor to safe, natural routines that support a quieter night. Keep most of your water earlier. Aim for roughly 70 to 80% of your daily total by mid-afternoon. And taper gently. Choose lower sodium dinners and flavor with herbs, lemon zest, vinegar, and olive oil instead of heavy shakes of salt. About 90 minutes before bed, rest with your legs elevated for 10 to 15 minutes. Then take a calm stroll around your home to redistribute fluid. If you enjoy a warm beverage, stick to a measured, caffeine-free, bladder-friendly infusion and leave a clear window before lights out. The details matter here, Overstrong infusions or very late cups can undo the benefit you're seeking. If it's time to see a clinician, go prepared so the visit is efficient and reassuring. Bring your 3-night log with times, types, and amounts of food and drink, the number of wake-ups, and notes on volume and comfort. List all medications and supplements, including herbals and over-the-counter products. Share any new life changes, travel, training for a race, a new job shift. Ask what tests make sense in your situation. A urine test to look for infection or blood, basic blood work for kidney function and blood sugar, and, depending on age and symptoms, a conversation about prostate health for men or pelvic floor support for women. There's no one-size-fits-all list. The value is in matching your pattern to the right evaluation. Remember that pacing matters as much as content. You don't have to fix everything at once. Apply 1 or 2 changes for a week. Earlier hydration, gentler dinner seasoning, the leg elevation and walk routine, and see what happens. If the pattern softens, keep going. If it doesn't, that's still progress because you've ruled out timing and irritants, and your clinician can use that information to look deeper without guesswork. You're learning your body's language, and that confidence carries over into every other corner of your health. A word about safety while you experiment. If you live with heart, kidney, or advanced vascular conditions, or you're pregnant, personalize these suggestions with your healthcare professional. Rapid shifts in fluids, extreme low-sodium diets, or aggressive herbal routines can cause more harm than good when not matched to your situation. We're aiming for steady, sustainable habits that respect your body's rhythms, not quick fixes. The most encouraging truth here is that careful attention pays you back quickly. Many people see improvements within days, fewer wake-ups, deeper sleep, more morning energy, and less worry. You don't have to be perfect to benefit. You only have to be consistent. Keep your evenings predictable, your seasoning thoughtful, your caffeine earlier, and your mindset gentle. The result is a night that feels like a true off switch. The next tip is one of the most important, and ignoring it won't just limit your results. It can also lead to potentially serious side effects if you miss symptoms that require timely care or if you apply home strategies too aggressively. I'll walk you through it with clarity so you can move forward safely and confidently. You've done the careful noticing. You tested your evenings, shifted caffeine earlier, and gave your dinners a calmer profile. Now it's time to turn small insights into a routine that quietly stacks the odds in favor of sleeping through the night. I like to think in 4 natural levers. Simple, evidence-aligned actions you can repeat on ordinary weeknights without feeling like your life became a project. The secret here isn't intensity, it's rhythm. When your days have a steady beat, your nights usually get quieter. The first lever is fluid timing. Your kidneys don't punch out at 6 p.m., but they do respond to the curve of your day. Aim to drink most of your water earlier, roughly 70 to 80% by mid-afternoon. And taper. In practice, that can look like a glass on waking, a glass with breakfast, a glass late morning, and a glass with lunch. Then, lighter sips after 4 p.m. The goal isn't to chase a magic ounce number. It's to keep your urine a pale straw color without loading your bladder right before bed. If you exercise late, catch up earlier instead of slamming a big bottle after dark. If you're on fluid restrictions or have heart or kidney conditions, customize this plan with your clinician so you stay safe while you sleep better. The second lever is salt-smart dinners. North American plates love salt because salt is fast flavor. Wings, pizza, deli sandwiches, soy-heavy stir-fries, canned soups that promise comfort in 5 minutes. Sodium pulls water into the bloodstream, and later, your body tries to clear it, usually when you finally lie down. You don't need a perfect diet to help your nights. You need a better pattern. Build dinners around roasted vegetables, whole grains, and simply seasoned proteins. A quick marinade for chicken, tofu, or salmon, olive oil, lemon zest, garlic, thyme, black pepper, tastes bright without heavy shakes of salt. Stretch jarred sauces with crushed tomatoes or unsalted broth and add sautéed onions and herbs. When eating out, ask for sauces on the side, swap fries for a side salad or roasted veggies, and share the salty entree so the portion and sodium both come down. Read labels with a friendly skepticism. Check sodium per serving and the number of servings per container. Many single cans actually hide two. The third lever is fluid mobilization before bed. During the day, gravity stores fluid in your lower legs. When you lie down, that fluid returns to circulation and can nudge your kidneys into late-night overtime. About 90 minutes before sleep, elevate your legs above heart level for 10 to 15 minutes. 2 pillows on the couch work. Then take a gentle 5 to 10-minute walk around your home. Add 20 ankle pumps. Flex toes toward you, then point away. To wake up your calf muscle, pumps. Most people notice fewer wake-ups with this tiny habit. If you have heart, kidney, or circulation conditions, or you're pregnant, personalize this routine with your clinician so it fits your situation. The fourth lever is a bladder-calming evening ritual. A warm, caffeine-free cup can be a friend, but the way you prepare it matters as much as the herbs you choose. Overstrong infusions or very late cups can flip soothing into stimulating. Keep the amounts modest and the timing kind. A measured, gentle brew 60 to 90 minutes before bed, not at lights out. Choose herbs that most people tolerate well. Chamomile or lemon balm are common options, avoiding large amounts of peppermint or ginger if your bladder is sensitive. If you sweeten, use a small amount and be mindful if you live with diabetes. If you're allergic to plants in the daisy family, pregnant, or taking sedatives or anticoagulants, check with your healthcare professional before adding new herbs. This is about comfort, not heroics. To make these levers stick, pair them with micro habits you already do. Put your early day water next to your coffee maker so it's the first thing you reach for. Pre-season a tray of vegetables on Sunday. Carrots, zucchini, bell peppers, onion. So weeknight dinners become assembly rather than invention. Keep lower sodium broth and crushed tomatoes in the pantry so stretching sauces is automatic. Choose a favorite mug for your evening cup and a specific time on your phone for the leg elevation reminder. When the environment does the nudging, your willpower can rest. Let's troubleshoot common snags with a calm, practical lens. If you still wake once with a lot of urine after a sensible dinner, look at the late-day curve. Were your biggest drinks after 5 p.m.? Try pulling one of them into the late morning. If you wake twice with small amounts and mild discomfort, scan for stealth irritants. Tomato-rich snacks, citrus desserts, chocolate, highly spiced sauces, or diet sodas with artificial sweeteners. Move them earlier or reduce the portion size and see what your notes show over 3 nights. If your ankles are puffy by evening, be faithful to the leg elevation and walk routine and ask your clinician whether compression socks during the day make sense for you. It's worth saying out loud, joy fits inside this plan. You can keep barbecue Saturdays, game night nachos, and a slice of birthday cake. Just slide the timing earlier and temper the salt. Hydration is a day-long relationship, not a 9 p.m. scramble. Sleep prefers routine over perfection, and your bladder tends to calm down when you do the simple things consistently. Keep the tone kind with yourself. Judgment doesn't help, data does. As your nights settle, use your log as a quiet scoreboard. Track wake-ups, note volume and comfort, and circle evenings that went particularly well. Patterns will stand out. The week you prepped dinners, your sleep was deeper. The nights you drank sweet tea late, you woke up. The evenings you elevated your legs and took that short walk. Mornings felt better. This is the opposite of alarm. This is you learning your body and letting that knowledge make life easier. When you put these 4 levers in motion, earlier hydration, salt-smart dinners, pre-bed fluid mobilization, and a measured, soothing cup, you create the conditions for a better night with no drama and no extremes. The effects are usually cumulative and forgiving. Miss a day and start again. That steadiness is what helps you tell ordinary habit from a signal to look deeper, and it's what helps real change last. The next tip is one of the most important, and ignoring it won't just limit your results. It can also lead to potentially serious side effects if you skip the precise preparation and timing I'm about to share. I'll walk you through it clearly so you can use it safely and effectively. You've put the pieces in place: earlier hydration, calmer seasoning, a short leg elevation routine, and a measured evening cup. Now let's gather them into a single, repeatable ritual that honors the promise I made at the beginning. a simple method with the right preparation and a 3-minute bonus that helps your body move daytime fluid before your head meets the pillow. The aim is not perfection. It's a dependable routine that your bladder can predict and your mind can trust. We'll start with the cup because it sets the tone for the night. This is a gentle bladder-calming infusion, not a diuretic balm and not a potent sleep tea. Ingredients for 1 serving, about 250 ml. 1 level teaspoon of dried chamomile, about 1 gram. 1 level teaspoon of dried lemon balm, about 1 gram. And an optional paper-thin slice of fresh ginger if you tolerate it well. Heat water to just below a full boil, around 90-95 degrees Celsius. Warm your mug with a splash of hot water and pour it out. Add the herbs to the mug, pour 250 ml of the hot water over them, cover the mug with a small plate or lid, and steep for 5 to 7 minutes. Strain. Drink it slowly 60 to 90 minutes before bedtime, not at lights out. If you prefer a hint of sweetness, add up to 1 teaspoon of honey. If you live with diabetes or need to control sugars, skip the sweetener. The measured amounts and the covered steep are doing real work here. Too strong or too late, and the benefits can flip. A few thoughtful cautions keep this both effective and safe. If you are allergic to plants in the daisy family, chamomile may not be for you. If you are pregnant, have liver disease, or take sedatives, anticoagulants, or other medications where herb-drug interactions matter, check with your healthcare professional before adding this cup. Sensitive bladders may dislike peppermint or large amounts of ginger. This recipe avoids both extremes and favors a calm profile. And remember that a warm drink counts toward total fluid. Keep the rest of your late evening beverages to gentle sips. Now for the 3-minute bonus that helps move fluid out of the lower legs before you sleep. Set a comfortable spot on the couch or bed and keep a chair nearby for balance later. Step 1. Elevation. Lie back and rest your calves on 2 pillows so your feet are above heart level. Aim for 90 seconds. Breathe slowly, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Step 2. Ankle pumps. Still lying down, flex your feet toward you and then point them away. 30 smooth repetitions total. This uses your calf muscles like a quiet second heart to push fluid back toward your core. Step 3. Diaphragmatic breathing while seated. Sit on the edge of the bed. Place 1 hand on your belly and 1 on your chest, and breathe in through your nose for 4 seconds. Hold for 2. Breathe out gently through pursed lips for 6. Repeat for 1 minute, letting the belly rise more than the chest. Step 4. Calf raises. Stand behind the chair, hold lightly for balance, and rise onto your toes, then lower with control. 20 repetitions. That's it. 3 minutes that tell your circulation. Handle this now, so my kidneys don't schedule it for 3 a.m. If you live with heart, kidney, or vascular conditions, are pregnant, or you've had recent surgery, clear these steps with your clinician so they fit your needs. Put the pieces together into a flow you can remember even on busy nights. About 90 minutes before bed, finish dinner and tidy the kitchen, closing the loop on late snacking. Prepare the infusion exactly as described and sit with it while you read or chat, letting the day wind down. When your cup is done, elevate your legs for the first minute and a half. Add the ankle pumps, move to the seated breathing, and finish with calf raises. Dim your screens and keep lights warm. Leave a comfortable window for your last bathroom visit, and then give yourself permission to sleep, knowing your body isn't holding a late-night surprise. This ritual plays well with real life. If you have a game night or a late dinner out, you can still use the method. Just shift it earlier where possible. Keep the cup gentle. Don't double the herbs or steep for 15 minutes because you had a hectic day. With herbs, precision beats bravado. If you miss a night, start again without judgment. Consistency, not intensity, is what restores quiet. Troubleshooting is straightforward. If you still wake once with a large volume on nights, you finished your cup early and stuck to the flow. Look at daytime hydration. Are you front-loading enough? If you wake with small amounts and discomfort, audit irritants again. Tomato-heavy sauces, chocolate, citrus desserts, highly spiced foods, or artificial sweeteners late in the day. If your ankles swell by evening, be faithful to the 3-minute bonus and ask your clinician whether daytime compression or a different exercise routine could help. And if you notice fever, blood in urine, severe burning, or unintentional weight loss with thirst. That's your cue for timely medical evaluation. Information doesn't replace care. It makes care smarter. Let me close with the spirit behind all of this. Your body is not a problem to be solved. It's a conversation partner. Nighttime bathroom trips are one of the ways it speaks. When you answer with steady habits, measured hydration, salt-wise meals, gentle movement, and a precisely prepared calming cup, you reclaim your nights without extremes or fear. If this guidance helps you, consider passing it forward. Share it with someone who's tired of tiptoeing to the bathroom. Tap like so this content reaches more people, and subscribe so we can keep building practical, natural routines together. Good sleep isn't a luxury, it's a foundation, and tonight you've laid it with care. The next tip is one of the most important, and ignoring it won't just limit your results. It can also lead to potentially serious side effects if you change doses, herbs, or timing without attention to your personal context. I'll keep guiding you clearly so you can move safely and confidently.